Welcome to you, dear viewers, to another exciting episode on Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. I am Rajni Bharara, your host. And now, typically, we have been traversing the intricate landscape of US immigration, unraveling its complexities and offering insights into employment opportunities. But today, my friends, we are embarking on an exciting journey across the Atlantic to uncover the hidden gems of Portugal's immigration landscape. Buckle up as we delve into the world of Portuguese passports and residency options. And guiding us through this enriching exploration is none other than the legal luminary Catia Pereira Baptista, a maestro in the realm of law with a knack for navigating the maze of immigration regulations. With over 13 years of experience in civil litigation and a remarkable track record of providing sound legal advice to a diverse range of clients, including credit institution and rental companies, Katia brings a wealth of expertise to our discussion. Her journey in law began over a decade ago, culminating in her role as a team leader and associate lawyer at Caia Guerrera. I hope I'm pronouncing these names right, but we'll talk about this with Katia later. But I would like to tell you that in this firm, she has been an instrumental in immigration department since 2023, recognized for her exceptional contribution. Katia has been honored with prestigious awards such as the Litigation Expert of the Year in Portugal. So fasten your seatbelts as we prepare to decode Portugal's passport path with amazing Katia Pereira Baptista. So Katia, it's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for the kind introduction. I hope I live up to it. It's a pleasure to be on the show, and I hope I can help decode this path for the Portuguese passport. Uh, Portugal is a very beautiful country, very sunny all year long, and I hope I can answer to all your questions and help along the way on this journey.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Katia. And also, I would like to read out this important disclaimer, which is there on the screen. By watching our videos, you agree and understand that the information provided by our experts and attorneys, including comments and replies from users, is not legal advice. Use of information is at your own risk. All right. So now, without any further ado, so Katia, first thing I would like to know from you is, did I take the name of your firm right? And if I did not, I'm really sorry about that.
Close enough. It's Caiado Guerreiro. Those are two very Portuguese names, so somewhat difficult to pronounce, but still very, very close.
Thank you so much for saying that. I'll try to do my best, during the whole show. But thank you for saying that. And everyone, please know that this session is being streamed live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and also on Twitter. And the handle is Immigration Talk Show. So don't forget to subscribe to us. And if you have any question you would like to know about the topic to Katia, wherever you're watching it from, so please post and please comment your question. We'll be glad to answer. All right. So now, without any further ado, let's get started. So, Karia, so, with our usual focus on US immigration, our viewers are in for a treat as we dive into the captivating realm of Portugal's immigration landscape. So, could you share a bit about your journey and how you found yourself at the forefront of immigration law in Portugal?
Yes, of course. So I started a very young age. Before I even graduated, I started working in the law practice office. I built my way up, and eventually I was given the new challenge at the immigration department to lead it and to see it through. And now here I am, over 14 years later of doing litigation, but now in the immigration department. The law in Portugal, we always, even though we specialize in certain areas, they all cross. So even though we do litigation or we do immigration, of course, we need to be a full practice law firm and a full practice lawyer, because it's very different from the US. Okay, even though we specialize, all the links come together in with our clients, and that's why I had no trouble changing areas in my field of expertise. And here I am.
Great, great. Your expertise is truly, truly remarkable, Katia. And thank you for answering our first question. And now, let's dive into the heart of our discussion, actually. So, as Portugal has always been a hotspot for immigration, right? But
Yes,
yeah, so but with recent changes to the law and establishment of new immigration offices, many are questioning its attractiveness as a migration destination. So, what do you think about this, and what are your thoughts on this? I mean, it's a bit off track, is what I'm asking, but I would like to know your thoughts on this too.
of course. So, Portugal has been a hotspot for investors for about 10 years. When we started the Golden Visa program, roughly for those years, the main goal of the investors was the real estate investment. So we had recent changes in our law that ended the real estate investment as we know it. And that's why we had to reinvent, let's say that, the immigration by referring to the investment. However, Portugal, it's still not only because we are a beautiful country, we are here at the edge of Europe. We haven't had a war in decades. We don't engage in wars, and it's a very secure country. So it's we had a client today that said that Portugal is one of the countries that the investors want to go and actually live in and not just make the investment per se. So regarding this, we had changes. Yes, the real estate investment ended, but we had lots and lots of clients wanting to come to Portugal from abroad, from the US, from the UK, from all over the world. And I think, of course, our beautiful sites, our good weather, our food helps, of course. But in the means of investment, it's still a very, very attractive place and still one of the best programs in the world if you are looking for a second passport.
Wow, great, lovely. I'm sure you must be really proud that you are from Portugal, because it is
I do.
indeed a very beautiful country and a very peaceful one. But then, you said something about the change in rules, and also on, about the real estate, right? So, but I would like to know from you, Katia, that but as you also mentioned, that people are more than their investment plans, they are also looking for moving to Portugal,
Yes,
right?
yes,
But
yes.
so, and you've also mentioned these new rules. So, if I would like to know from you, so what are these new rules, and how do they impact those considering, moving to Portugal, or considering making Portugal their new home?
So the main change was very recently happened this year and is regarding the citizenship status. Okay, so every visa in Portugal is a route for a passport. Okay, as long as the applicant has a valid visa for 5 years and lives in Portugal according to the visa, it can, after 5 years, apply for citizenship. What happens and what makes us so different from other countries is that with the golden visa, for example, you don't actually need to live in Portugal, okay? Only need to spend 7 days a year in Portugal. For the other visas, it's requested that you live in Portugal, but the change was the periods of the 5 years starts counting not at the date that you get your card, but at the date that you applied for the card. So the 5 year period starts counting even though the appliant doesn't have the card yet. And this is a game changer. And why? Because we had a bureau that was extinct. Now we have another one which is called IMA, and they have huge backlog because, as you said, and as I corroborated, Portugal is a very hot spot right now. So we have lots of people wanting to actually move to Portugal. And because of that, the backlog of our bureau is insane. So the way that our government found for us to be more attractive was to change the law so that you don't need to waste those 2 or 3 years that you are waiting for you to get the card. So those years will count for the purposes of the citizenship. This is a game changer because no other country here close to Portugal, of course, offers this possibility. Normally, you really need to live in the country. You really need to engage in the community for 10 years, 15 years. Here in Portugal, you only need the 5 years, and the period starts counting from the moment you apply. This is very significant, and as long as it's in force, we don't know for how long. But for the even for the investors, for the golden visa or for other visas, it's very important news and very good for us and for the country, of course.
Of course, of course. Thank you for answering the question in so much detail and so beautifully, Katia. And now that you have mentioned Golden Visa, I would also like to know about Golden Visa a bit. So, talking about Golden Visa, it's like a VIP pass to Portugal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if you can term it like that. So it's like, finding the key to a magical kingdom. But now my main question here is, what is the minimum investment needed to unlock this golden gateway? And what are the treasures that await who want to embark on this journey is what I would like to know from you.
Of course. Just prior information is that when the law changed and the real estate option ended, there was a lot of misconception. Okay, so we started to have lots of inquiries about this change because the clients wanted to move to Portugal, and we recommend the golden visa because some of the clients want to move to Portugal but don't want to be attached to the country. And we say, okay, so you can apply for the golden visa. And the answer I always got was, well, but we know that Portuguese golden visa ended. And that is not true, okay? Only the real estate option ended. So there are still very viable options. And to answer your question, the minimum investment, it's 250K. But this is in a Portuguese culture association and has no return, okay? So it's like a donation for the Portuguese culture. And we have some, of course, you cannot come and give to a association and be eligible for golden visa. Those associations are duly registered. So that option is available for the ones who want to spend the least amount of money, but of course, no return. Other than this one, the 250K, you have the 500K, and this one is really an investment. It's investment in the fund, like a venture capital fund. It's possible to choose from lots of funds that have been in Portugal and have been around for a lot of time. So those funds were not created for golden visa purposes. Of course, they took advantage that the law changed and started chasing the golden visa investors, but they did not create, were not created for this purpose. So they are very viable in Portugal. Some of them have investment from the state itself. So it's a very secure way of investment. And if you heard other way around, it's not. It's a very, very viable path to consider. Also, with a 500K capitalization of an existing company, as long as it has at least permanent workers, and with no minimum investment associated, the creation of 10 jobs. So you can come to Portugal, open a company, create 10 permanent jobs, and with that, request the golden visa with no minimum investment. So there are still lots of options. Even though real estate is not one of the routes, there are still lots of routes starting in 250K or zero if you want to create the 10 jobs. Of course, there's always an investment associated with creation of jobs, but there's no minimum amount. So it's a world of possibilities if you just know where to look, because it's still very, very viable. And like I said, one of the best programs in the world.
Wow, great. Wow, thank you so much for answering the question, Katia. But also, you have mentioned a lot about golden visa here, and also about how the law changed and how people took advantage, right? So as an
Yes.
attorney yourself, who deals in immigration, so if I talk to you, what are the changes that you would like to happen to Portugal's immigration, I mean, law wise, I'm asking.
It would be great for the bureau to have a timeline for like a deadline for them to process the visas, because at this point everything is taking so much time that drives investors away. Okay, so we need intervention ASAP on that level. And
Okay.
I think that ending the real estate in all the choices available was not the smartest of moves, because we could take advantage of the real estate investing from golden visa investors, because we need the investment. Of course, they could take away the residential investment, for example, but keep the investment in hospitality, keep investment on a lot of situations that could help the country create affordable housing, for example, that we so desperately need. So this would all be great changes that would greatly favor the country and its development, because right now everything is taking too long, and the prospect clients are not duly informed on how to obtain these visas in Portugal.
Okay, okay, got it. All right, so thank you so much, Katia, for answering the question. Now let's quickly move to our next question. So, the next question is actually about nomad visa. So, if I talk about nomad visa, so it's basically like choosing between different flavors of ice cream, which and every ice cream has its own unique taste, right? So, what are the main perks of having a golden visa compared to nomad visa, and or maybe just any other Portugal visa?
So Nomad visa was created recently, precisely because we have a beautiful country, and why not allow foreign workers to work from Portugal? So they created the Nomad visa, but the main problem, let's say, it's that you need to earn 4 times the Portuguese minimum wage in order to be eligible for the visa. The minimum wage right now it's 820 euros, and at least that amount a month the worker has to make. So it's not a deal breaker, because of course other countries have wages way different than the Portuguese ones, but it's of course a thing to consider. However, all the other visas, the Nomad visa, the work visa, the D7, which is the passive income visa, all of them require the person to live in Portugal. So if, let's say, you want to come to Portugal and still you are retired, but you still have your businesses elsewhere, you do need to travel. Well, if you cannot stay in Portugal for 6 months in a row or 8 interpolated, you won't be able to renew your visa. And that's why the golden visa exists. Because the golden visa, you only need to be in Portugal 7 days a year. And of course, you can keep renewing. And after the 5 years, request the passport as long as you fulfill the requirements and everything is good. With all the other visas, you need to live in Portugal. Okay, you need to have your life here. You need to have your residency here. Otherwise, you will not be able to renew. And that's why the golden visa exists.
Wow. Okay. Okay. But who actually qualifies for this golden visa?
Everybody.
Okay.
so, so as long as you have a valid passport,
Uh-huh.
you don't have a criminal record, of course,
Okay.
and have the means to make the investment, you can qualify for a golden visa, okay? Because you only need to talk to a lawyer in Portugal, give the documents, power of attorney, take care of everything here in Portugal. You don't need to come to Portugal for requesting of the visa. Only afterwards, when you are called upon and to take your fingerprints, you need to come to Portugal. But before that, you don't need to come to Portugal.
Okay.
Only after you get your card, you will start to need to fulfill the 7 days a year, but you take a small vacation, you bring your family, and you fulfill that 7 days. You can go with your life after the 5 years, request the passport, and it's as easy as that.
Wow, wow. Um, I mean, that's amazing. That's really, really great. And talking about the nomad visa, so are there like any challenges or maybe any problems or anything that you would like to tell people, who are actually planning on a nomad lifestyle in Portugal? So would you like to tell them anything that what can they expect?
I would think that the challenges we face right now is that everything is taking a lot of time, and the Nomad visa and all the other visas need to be requested at the country that the person lives, and at the Portuguese consulate. They are very full because there's a lot of people wanting to come to Portugal. So the waiting period can be of 6 months just to obtain the first appointment in the consulate. So this is the main challenge, the time, obtain an appointment. Of course, there are locations that are fairly easy to obtain the appointment, but normally it takes a lot of time. So this is the main challenge. Other than this, if they do have a contract, a works contract of a non-European Union country, if they earn 4 times the Portuguese minimum wage, they won't be rejected. And they can come work from Portugal. We have several housings available for those types of workers. If you go for the coastal cities, you see young people that at the lunchtime go surf, go running, go kayaking, and that's what it's attractive about Portugal, because you can work from your hotel, your house, and still go for a quick dive or just a stroll on the beach.
Wow, wow. Seems like I also need to visit or maybe move to Portugal soon then.
Of course.
Or also, you have been continuously mentioning this thing that people are, like I even said, that people are really interested in moving to Portugal and making Portugal their home. So apart from these all things about Portugal, what else do you think is the main area of interest that people are so much interested these days, especially to move to Portugal? Do you think it's because the crimes around other countries, or maybe, because a lot of things has been happening in, different countries? But if we talk about Portugal, so Portugal is a really, as you also mentioned in the beginning, right, that it's a very peaceful place and very happy place with who never was involved in any war or anything.
Yeah, I think that's the main purpose. We heard sometimes of certain countries wanting to come to Portugal to protect their families, okay, because the crime rate is, I wouldn't say inexistent, of course, but it's very low compared to other locations. It's very secure. You have access to free education. You have access to free healthcare. I think this is what people are looking for. Of course, it's not a paradise. I won't lie, because we have, of course, our problems. Everything takes a lot of time. You have free healthcare, but you need to be patient, because it takes a couple of hours for you to be attended. But I think compared, let's say, with the US, even if you want to go to private healthcare, you can make an insurance. It's like €100 a month, and you get access to private healthcare. So I think it's very attractive for foreign people, and not only the nomads, but the retired folks that just want a peaceful and quiet place to be, and don't need to be aggravated. This is the place, because they have what they need: healthcare. I think this is our main selling point.
Wow. Or maybe let's just conclude this question by saying, there are not just one, but a lot of points that will be hard for us to cover in this 1 hour. I think it
Yes,
will take, right? It will take us more than 24 hours to talk about, what's good about Portugal. So maybe,
yes,
let's just move to another question, maybe.
of
um,
course.
it surely it sounds like a dream. Wow. So but also about the nomads, I would like to know that, is there a specific time frame digital nomads need to stick to?
Normally, the visa it's up to a year. Okay,
Okay.
so they can request 1 year. Normally, it depends on what they are looking for. If they are looking just for a year to work in Portugal, or a couple of years, because the visa can be extended, can be renewed as long as they maintain the requirements. And like any other visa, it's a path for the passport. Okay, if they fulfill the requirements and are in Portugal for the 5 years, even with the nomad visa, it is possible to request a citizenship after the 5 years. So this is the main requirements for these types of visas. The challenges, like I said, are just the time frames for the appointments, because after they get the visa, they get the 1 year visa or more, they can come to Portugal and do their thing.
Okay. All right. Got it. So, everyone, I hope so far the session is helpful to you and informative to you. But also, if you want to reach out to Katia, so her contact number is +351 213 717 000. I would also again like to repeat the number: 351 213 717 000. Her email is c c okay, I would like to
Baptista.
read it. Yeah, it's C Baptista at
Caiado Guerreiro.
Kaya kayadugorero.com. I'm really sorry.
Great.
I'm trying my level best, Katia, but
It's
all
very
right. So
good.
you can also reach out to her on her phone number, and also on her email, which is, I already have said, it is mentioned here on the screen: cbaptista at kayadugorera.com, and her website is kayadugorero.com. com. And also, right now, let's just quickly go for a break because we have a lot of things to cover and people are also commenting with their questions. So maybe grab some snacks or recharge those brain cells. We'll be back after, you know, after a few seconds. So just stay tuned with Immigration and Jobs Talk Show.
Consultant seeking a new opportunity? We offer job placement services for US citizens, green cards, EADs, and visa holders. We also sponsor various work visas like H1B, E3, TN, and green cards. 20 plus years of experience in the industry. Exceptional employee benefits. Highly rated by our employees. Global presence with 200 plus recruiters and direct clients. Connect with us. Call us on the number 732-707-9151 or mail us at rajni@higheritpeople.com or visit our website www.higheritpeople.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you have had a chance to refuel and recharge because we are diving right now directly into viewers' question. Because as I can see, a lot of people have commented. So people have joined us from LinkedIn, Facebook, and also from YouTube. So I can see a lot of question. So Catia, before we move into our own question, which I have actually prepared for you, I would like to read out some a question which have been commented and posted by the viewers. So, shall I take one?
Of course.
Great. So, there's a LinkedIn user who says, "Great to be here." Well, thank you for saying that. And then there is Dare, and Dare says, connecting from Nigeria. Hi, Dare. I hope you're doing well. Also, then let's take Meet's question. Meet is here. And he says, "Hi, are there any restrictions on the nationality or residency status of investors applying for Portugal's Golden Visa program?" Katia, what would you like to say?
So the nationality restrictions at this point are the ones that are blacklisted because of the wars that are ongoing. So we don't have a restriction on the nationality per se, but of course that are some individuals that are blacklisted, and on those individuals it's very difficult to get approved. Okay, so they can still request the golden visa. It takes a lot of time to be approved, so nothing to lose in applying. But of course, those blacklisted and suffering the sanctions of the United States and the European Union are very difficult to get approved right now. And as long as they keep the restrictions, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult to get approved.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, Meet, I hope you have got the answer for your question. But thank you so much for posting your question. Please let us know. Like Dare told us that he has connected with us from Nigeria. You also please let us know where you have connected with us from and where you're watching this live session from. And I actually have got a question for you on my WhatsApp actually. So people also send us messages on WhatsApp. So I have a question for you on WhatsApp, Katia. So if you don't mind, shall I take it?
Yes, of
Shall
course.
I read it for you? Okay, great. So the question is, if a nomad visa holder's income drops below the required minimum threshold due to their circumstances beyond their control, example, or global pandemic, right? Can they argue force majeure to temporarily suspend or modify the income requirement, and what supporting document would be needed to make such a case?
So this is a very pertinent question, but the law is very clear. In order to keep renewing the visa, the requirements need to be fulfilled. But this is the amount that the Nomad visa holder earns needs to be divided by 12. So if in 1 month they do not fulfill that amount, they can, if in the 12-month period they will renew the card, fulfill the old amount, they will be approved. But I am not aware of ever being granted exceptional renewal on these types of circumstances. And I tell you why, because Nomad visa has less than a year of life. So of course, nothing is impossible, and maybe try to change the type of visa when the client is in Portugal. Maybe it is possible, but this is hypothetical question, because this is very recent visa, so we don't have any news on having exceptions.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you so much for answering the question, Katia, and thank you so much for the person who sent the question to me. Like Katia said, the question is really, really interesting, and let us know where you are watching this session from, and give us more information. All right, so next question is from Shelly, and Shelly wants to know, can investors include their children who are over 18 in their golden visa application?
So the answer is yes, they can, up to 25 years old, as long as they are studying. Okay, so as long as the children are dependent on the parents, the main applicant, they can regroup their children. They can regroup children, spouse, and parents if they are also dependent of the main applicant. So it's the close family that can be regrouped with only one visa, one investment. We can regroup the spouse and all the children up to 25 years old, as long as they are studying.
Okay. Okay. Shelly, I hope you have got the answer. Thank you so much for posting your question. Please let us know where you're watching this session from, and let us know, give us more information about yourself so that we can connect. And then Ranbir is also here, and Ranbir wants to know that what happens if the investment is sold before the 5-year period required for citizenship?
The investment needs to be kept for as long as the visa is valid, because only the investment needs needs to be valid until the end of the visa. Let's say you want to acquire citizenship, but you still have you already fulfilled the 5 years. So for the golden visa purposes, if you don't want to keep renewing the golden visa, you don't need to keep the investment. But citizenship also takes time. So until you secure your passport, you should always keep the investment, because if it takes longer than expected, you won't be able to renew your visa, and you will be without a visa for whatever years that the citizenship takes to move forward, because the citizenship applications are taking up to 2 years right now. So even if they start at the 5-year mark, the process, they need to keep renewing the card so they don't lose the perks of having the residency, of course.
Okay, got it, got it. So thank you so much, Ranbir, for asking an interesting question, and I hope you have got the answer. Let us know if it is helpful to you, and also let us know where you're watching this live session from, where you have connected with us from. And then Jitendra actually has a question, and he has posted it in two parts. So I would like to read one by one. So he says, how do you respond to criticism that the Golden Visa program has been criticized for enabling money laundering and corruption? And what measures do you believe should be taken to address these concerns while still attracting foreign investment?
So, of course, money laundering is a very, very serious
Allegation.
problem, yes, and allegation. So, what we have strict policy of know your client, KYC. So, the bank, the first step for the investment, of course, is a Portuguese tax number and a bank account. Without a bank account, you cannot make the investment. The bank won't open your account unless they know where the money comes from. And this has been tightened and tightened and tightened over the years. And now it is very difficult to open a bank account if everything is not clear. And in Portugal, we have been seeing that the opening of the bank accounts are taking longer, sometimes up to 2 months precisely, because of the compliance they need to face. So, yes, this was a problem on past investments. Of course, whenever there's opportunity, of course, people will take it, and we know it. But it's our job to prevent it at the maximum that we can. So personally, as lawyers, we do, of course, our compliance, and the banks do theirs. And if they suspect that the money is not clean, you won't be able to open a bank account in Portugal and thus not invest and not obtain a golden visa.
Wow. Okay, great. So, Jitendra, you actually, asked a controversial question here, but thank you so much for asking it. And thank you so much for answering the question, Katia. Really means a lot. And people, okay, a lot of question are here. So Dare says, yes, I am. Thanks. Thank you, Dare, for watching the session. You're always active on the sessions and always commenting. So keep doing that. And we really appreciate it. And thank you so much, for always tuning in. Means a lot. Okay, so one user is also here, another user. He says he's connecting from Jakarta. Hi, and please let us know your name. And I'm not sure if this is the same person, but he says, he or she says, what are the language and financial requirements for the visa applicant? Is it is this more like the job seeker visa or what?
Maybe we are talking about the Nomad visa.
Yeah,
No, job seeker is for you to come to Portugal with only a dream, like we used to say. So you come to Portugal, you request a visa, and you have that amount of time to find a job. After you find a job, you apply for a D1 visa, which is a work visa. No language requirements. The language requirements are for the permanent residency and for the citizenship, and are A2 level. Okay, it's very basic Portuguese, but still you need to have A2 level of Portuguese in order to obtain the citizenship or the permanent residency. So the answer is no language requirements for the visa. And no, it's not like a job seeker, because in this situation, you already need to have a job and prove that you have a job abroad and that you can work from Portugal, providing your services to the company that is not based in the European Union.
okay. All right. Great. I hope you have got the answer. Thank you so much for posting the question. And I hope, this answer is helpful to you. Let us know if it is. And let us know if you have any more question. And then Dana is here. And she has posted on LinkedIn and she says, may I know the visa name for job seekers to Portugal?
Job seekers.
Okay, as simple as that. Job seekers.
Yes, yes.
Great.
It's called job seeker, and you apply as all the visas in your local Portuguese consulate.
Great. Okay. All right. So, Dana, I hope now, I'm sure you have got the answer, but let us know if you have any more question. And thank you so much for posting your question and for watching the session. And let us also know where you're watching this live session from. And okay. A lot of interesting questions, actually. So I would like to take this question from Zaki. And Zaki says, what is your stance on the ethical implications of advising clients on how to navigate the complexities of Portugal's visa and residency programs, potentially enabling them to exploit loopholes or take advantage of bureaucratic inefficiencies? And how do you balance your professional obligations with your moral principles?
So I think we are mixing concepts here because, of course, where there is a law to be enforced, there are always the ones that are looking for loopholes. Okay, so unfortunately, we don't have lots of loopholes in Portugal, and the thing that we have the most, yes, it's time-consuming bureaucracy, and we have no way around it, unfortunately. So thankfully, I don't have any problems with my conscience right now. But from a professional point of view, yes, it's very complex, and we try our best to help the clients navigate this process, because the complexity, it's not the obtaining of the visa. Every visa is very straightforward to obtain. You go to the Portuguese consulate, you show the documents, the visa is granted, and you come to Portugal with an appointment, and afterwards you get your visa if everything is in order. So not lots of room here for us to intervene, but of course, every step of the way, everything we can do for minimize this bureaucracy and the problems, we of course do.
Great, great. All right. So, Zaki, I hope you have got the answer. Thank you so much for your question. And then the LinkedIn user is again here saying, thank you for the wonderful and excellent answer, Kayado. I think he's thinking that is your name, but her name is Catia, and that's the firm's name, LinkedIn user. So, just clearing out the confusion here. But thank you so much for your comment. And okay, I actually have one more question on my WhatsApp. I think it has been posted on LinkedIn as well, but I have received also on my WhatsApp. Somehow, I don't know, I'm not able to see it here. So, but I think I'm sure my team is going to display it on the screen. So, the question is actually from Shidibri. I hope I'm taking the name right. If I'm not, I'm really, really sorry about that. But the question that he wants to know is, what are the language and financial requirements for the visa applicant? Oh, okay. I think I already have taken this. I'm really sorry about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move to another question. So this question is from Sanju. And Sanju says, can investors rent out their property purchased through the Golden Visa program?
Yes, they could when the investment was real estate based. Okay, so if you already applied for the golden visa and you have a property in Portugal, yes, you can rent it. If you are only now applying, golden visa doesn't allow investment in real estate, so this is not a possibility for new applicants. For old applicants, yes.
Okay, okay, got it. And Dana is Sanju, thank you so much for your question. Really means a lot, and I hope you have got the answer. And the answer is simple and clear, which has been given by Katia. And Dana is again here, and she says, how hard is it to find job for foreigners in Portugal?
It really depends on what type of job. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I froze. My screen froze. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah.
No problem. It really depends on the type of job that you are looking for. Of course, that you have to be very careful when coming to Portugal or any foreign country, not to be taken advantage of. Look for a serious company, and there's lots of jobs available, especially for high qualified workers. If that's not the case, I won't say that you can do it in 1 or 2 weeks, but you have the job seeker visa, nothing like coming and trying, and if you don't succeed, unfortunately you have to go back. But if you do, great, because there are lots of opportunities in Portugal.
Great. Well, Dana, as Catia said, there are a lot of opportunities in Portugal. So if you're looking for a job, you know, or maybe you can connect with Catia herself. We already have this ticker running down where her contact numbers are mentioned, her email is mentioned, her contact number is mentioned, and also her website is mentioned. And yes, you can connect with her if you have, if you want to know about anything. So Dia is also here, and Dia wants to know what are the tax implications for a non EU citizen who obtains a golden visa through investment in Portuguese company and then become a tax resident in Portugal. She also has a part two, but still maintains income and assets outside of Portugal, and how can they optimize their tax strategy to minimize liabilities and maximize benefits?
Okay, so my expertise, it's not tax, but from what I can say is you have had the NHR program, which was available to all the foreigners for 5 years, but now only for high qualified workers or certain types of investment. For the golden visa, if they want to become tax residents in Portugal, what I would recommend is because it's very different from country to country, because there are double taxations that are to avoid if they have the agreement with certain countries. So if this is the situation, you only be taxed in Portugal for what you are not taxed in your country, but always request a study on your specific situation, because when it comes to tax, it's always best to hear from someone that really understands it. If you are interested, here in the office, we have one of the best tax lawyers in Portugal, so we can also help with that. But personally, I would prefer for an expert to answer this question, because it really depends what types of assets, what types of income, and of course the country that the money comes from.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for answering the question, Katia. And thank you so much, Dia, for asking. I hope you have got the answer. And like Katia said, maybe you can connect with an expert for this question. And she tried to give her best answer, and I hope that helped you. And Dana is again here, and she says thank you. And then Dere is here. I hope now I'm taking the name right. Dere, let me know if it's Dare or Dere. So he says, I'm trying to seek a job in Europe through work visa or job seeking visa. With one, will you advise?
To seek a job, you need to come with a job seeker visa, because the work visa you need to apply when you already have a contract or a promissory contract of work. So when you find a job, you apply to the work visa. Until then, you can go in the route of the job seeker, because it's the only one that can be requested here in Portugal. In Europe, other countries, of course, they all have their own laws. So it's best for the person to ask in the country that he is actually trying to find a job.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dere, for your question. I hope you've got the answer. And now let's take Minu's question, maybe. Minu has also posted a question. And she says, if a client obtains a golden visa through investment in Portuguese company, but later discovers that the company has been engaged in fraudulent activities, what legal recourses are available to the client to protect their investment and residency status?
Wow, that's a tough one. So, of course, we are talking two different situations. One of them, of course, will go through criminal routes, because if the company had committed fraud or something, of course, it will have to be accounted for. Regarding with the investment, well, it really depends on the status of the company, because if the company goes bankruptcy, it's very difficult on those situations for the golden visa holders to maintain their investment, and of course keep renewing the card. But the beautiful thing about lawyers and law, it's everything, it's contestable. So it's just a matter of letting us know the specific situation, and we will see if there's something we can do to protect your investment, and of course, most importantly, your visa.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you, Meenu, for your question. And I actually am also getting questions on my WhatsApp as well. So, so I actually have got a question. How do you compare with the US? I think this is about the job question. You gave an answer. I'm trying to seek a job. Dere asked a question, right? And you gave an answer. So I think I had a follow up on my WhatsApp asking how do you compare this with the US?
If I cannot speak on behalf of the US, because I never been. I know it's Portugal. It's very very small, of course, compared with the US. So it's easier to find a job, and it's easier to be engaged in the community if you do your homework, and if you come with a plan and come with a purpose. Okay, because for everybody that wants to be here, that is in good faith, there's room for everybody.
Great. Thank you so much for taking that. And one last question before, I still had a lot of question to ask from you about, I had prepared a list, and you also sent us a list, right, about the Portugal immigration question. And I really wanted to take all of those, but because I had a lot of question coming from the viewers, so I couldn't ignore them as well. But then before I let you go, one more question actually I have on my WhatsApp for you. So the question is, how do you compare Portugal versus UAE, as in Dubai Golden Visa?
From my knowledge, Dubai Golden Visa, it's faster to obtain, and of course the real estate option is still on the table. But of course, what most of our clients want is the name and the force that the Portuguese passport has. Of course, it is easier for you to be holder of a Portuguese passport, because, like we said at the beginning, we don't engage in any conflict. So normally, this is why clients choose Portugal or Spain, or countries that are more unlikely to engage in these types of situations. So that's why we think, of course, I'm selling my country, and I think ours is naturally best. But from a point of view of the viewer, of course, I think it's just a matter of option that you need for you personally. If you need to see that the Portuguese passport makes more sense, of course, you should go for the Portuguese passport.
Well, great. Thank you so much. And any last advice for someone who's considering immigration to Portugal?
Be patient, okay? Because it's taking a lot of time, but still we have good results. The government, it's making sure that we are investing in the right places. Okay, so of course, like I said in the beginning, I would love to see opening of the investment to some other issues that we have and that we need to be addressed in Portugal. But with the ones that we are getting, I think this is really helping the country. So my advice is come prepared. If you want the golden visa, it's really straightforward, but you need to gather the documents. Okay, you will need it's time consuming on your part because the documents that are needed take a lot of time to obtain, especially the criminal record. And for the other visa holders, it's important to make the appointment in the Portuguese consulate and wait for as long as it's needed and never give up.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Catia, for your time, for your expertise, for your insights. It really was a great session actually. And because as I said, I have a lot of questions pending too, which I also wanted to cover in this episode, but because we don't have enough time today. So would you like to do a part two, maybe an episode two, whenever you are available, maybe next time?
Of course, it will be my pleasure. I see that
Love.
are a lot of questions, and I would be happy to answer to all of them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for agreeing to it, and thank you so much for saying yes. And great people. Um, there are many questions which I'm not able to take from the viewers as well. But don't worry that now Katia has agreed to do another episode, so we'll be back with her whenever she's free. We'll have to figure out the date and time. We'll let you know. We'll keep you updated about it. But right now, that's a wrap for today's episode on Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. And a huge thank you, Katia. Thank you again for, like I said, sharing your expertise. It really was a great episode. And thank you for your time.
You're very welcome. It was a pleasure.
And everyone, if you would like to reach out to Katia, her contact number is +351 213 717 000. I would like to repeat it. +351 213 717 000. Her email is cbaptista@cayaduguerrero.com. Her website is www.cayaduguerrero.com. I hope I did try. I hope I was better this time. So you can connect with her through these details, via these details. And if you're looking for a project placement or visa sponsorship, you can reach out to me on my number, which is plus 732 707 9151. My email is rajni@higherightpeople.com. And you can also visit our website, www.higherightpeople.com. Remember, we also sponsor H-1B visas and other work visas based on job availability and regulations. All right. But before we say goodbye, don't forget to hit that like button, share button, subscribe button. So always stay tuned with Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Thank you so much for tuning in such huge numbers. And the LinkedIn user is also saying thank you for your time, Katia. So we'll meet in the next episode. But for now, don't forget to subscribe to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Consultant seeking a new opportunity? We offer job placement services for U.S. citizens, green cards, EADs, and visa holders. We also sponsor various work visas like H-1B, E3, TN, and green cards. 20 plus years of experience in the industry. Exceptional employee benefits. Highly rated by our employees. Global presence with 200 plus recruiters and direct clients. Connect with us. Call us on the number 732-707-9151 or mail us at rajni@higherightpeople.com or visit our website www.higherightpeople.com.